Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me today. I'm here with Leonardo Javier Ñiquen Loaiza, a line cook at the well restaurant Siete Sopas. Leonardo is not only a friend of mine, but also is a culinary student who has gained valuable experience both in Peru and the United States. Thank you for being here, Leonardo.
Thanks for having me. Well, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm really happy to be part of this interview.
Okay, let's start by talking a bit about your background. Can you tell us about your current job at Siete Sopas? What are your main responsibilities as a line cook?
Sure. Well, at Siete Sopas, I work as a line cook, mostly in the sauté and cold stations. Well, my main tasks include preparing ingredients, plating dishes, and making sure everything is ready and clean during the service. We have a very fast-paced kitchen, so teamwork and speed are really important.
Yeah, being fast is really important in a kitchen. What motivated you to study culinary arts and pursue a career in cooking?
Well, in my opinion, it's a nice story because I always loved food since I was a kid. Because my grandmother, my aunts, and of course my mom used to cook amazing Peruvian dishes. I love the Peruvian food and I love different ingredients that we have in our country. So I always curious about how my family cook. So later, when I got my first job in a small kitchen, I realized how exciting and creative this field can be. That's when I decided to study it seriously.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, in my case was a little bit similar. Have you always been passionate about food and cooking, or did that interest develop over time?
I'd say it grew with me and with the time, because first I just like eating and watching cooking show, but once I start working and learning more about how to make beautiful dishes and more how to say this um different type of food, different type of ingredients, I became really passionate about it. Now I can't imagine doing anything else than cook.
Yeah, I also watch a lot of cooking shows as a kid, um, more young, and I think one of my favorites nowadays is a Grand Chef. So continue
It's
with
a
the
really good show. I agree with you.
yeah. So continue with the interview. I understand that you are also work in the United States. Could you tell us about your experience working there?
Of course. Well, my first experience was working at Disney, at the Disney park in Hollywood Studios. I used to work at Docking Bay 7. It's a restaurant with the type of fast food. I can, well, I saw how to work in a kitchen because it's really different and the kitchen how to work at the US and in Peru. We have a big difference. Obviously, because working at Disney, it's a really big brand, so it was a good responsibility to me. Well, in my second experience in the US, well, I worked in a restaurant in New Jersey for a few months. It was a totally different experience, much organized and strict about timing and food safety. Food safety in the US is really, really important. In the training week that I had when I was working there, food safety was one of the cores of the kitchen. So I learned a lot about efficiency and communication. Also, working in English helped me to improve my language skills.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I agree with you. I mean, being organized and cleaning the kitchen is one of the most important things. And what are some of the difference you notice about working in kitchens in the USA and in Peru?
Well, how I say my last answer, I think the food safety is the most important that I can highlight about the difference, but I can say other example. Well, in the US, kitchens are usually more structured and follow strict protocols. For example, labeling everything, checking temperatures constantly, and cleaning schedules are followed exactly. In Peru, well, the things are more easy because we don't have like a schedule for it. And it could be more flexible or improvised, especially in smaller kitchens, but both have their strengths.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, now continuing with the interview. You're currently studying culinary arts while working. How do you manage your time between your studies and your job?
Well, it's not um, easy to be honest, because you need to have good grades in the university and have the responsibility to uh, be good at your work. So I usually work night shifts and I have classes in the morning or early afternoon. I try to stay organized with a planner and rest whenever I can. Sometimes I have to skip hanging out with friends or maybe go to the parties, but I know it's worth it. I think in the future, um, I can go out more with my friends.
Yeah, I think it's a big sacrifice. And do you think that working while studying helps you become a better chef? Why or why not?
Well, I think definitely, well, in class we learn techniques and theory, but at work, you can apply all that you learn in the classes. So I get to apply them under real pressure, and I also learn a lot from the more experienced cooks. I think the combination makes my learning process much faster and more complete, of course.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, continuing with the interview, I'm sure many people would love to follow a path similar to yours. What advice would you give to someone who wants to become a professional cook?
Well, in my point of view, I'd say be patient and passionate, of course. At first, the job can be tough, long hours, stress, heat. But if you really love cooking, it becomes enjoyable. Also, never stop learning. You need to improve your techniques with the time and with the practice, of course, obviously. There's always a new technique or ingredient to discover. So you need to practice a lot.
Yeah,
Practice make perfect, I think.
I agree with you. And what qualities do you think are essential for someone working in the kitchen?
Mm, well, I think you need to be fast, you need to be clean, or you need to be able to work under pressure. Um, I think one of the most important qualities that you need is the teamwork. It's super important to me, and you have to be humble. Sometimes you'll do basic tasks, but they're all part of the process. Discipline and passion are key, I think.
Yeah. What is your dream job in the culinary world?
Well, I hope one day I'd love to open my own restaurant, a place where I can show modern Peruvian cuisine with creativity, but still respect tradition. I think tradition is really important, not only for me. I think my family teach me that. So I hope one day I can do that. Maybe even combine what I've learned in Peru and the US.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you will be able to open your own restaurant, and maybe I can go there to check or probe or eat some food. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's been great talking with you, Leonardo. Before we finish, what are your future plans, and where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Wow, well, in the next 5 years. Well, I think in 5 years I hope to have finished my studies, and maybe be working as a sous chef in a fine dining restaurant. That could be my dream, I think. I'd also like to travel to other countries to learn more, not only the US. I want to learn about different cuisines, maybe Spain or Japan. And every place has something new to offer. I think that could be great, I think.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience and insights. I wish you all the best in your career and studies. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. It was a pleasure for me too. I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you about what we love.
Okay, thank you.